Okay, welcome to another episode of Connect, Thrive, Achieve, where we celebrate some of our greatest. However, there are also some who are moving on to greener pastures or different challenges, a new phase of their journey in their career. And first of all, we're going to be talking to Emily Cove, better known as Em, with a lot of the student body and staff. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And what we'd like to hear about is your time at the Jannali High School, and you've certainly left a legacy here with us, and you have left big shoes to fill. Can you tell us a bit about when you first started at Jannali?
Yeah, so I started at Jannali back in 2021, the second lockdown of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I came online, so that was a interesting time to
Yes.
start at the Jannali High School virtually. So that was, there was some, challenges through that, trying to get to know my team, student services, my head teacher wellbeing, obviously the whole school staff, but particularly building relationships with students and families, which is the primary role as student support officer. But I found that was actually a positive. It gave me time to build those connections and take the time. And, we often met online, 2 meetings a day with the team.
Wow.
So I think in hindsight, it was actually more of a positive than it was a negative.
Okay. And since then, how's the role changed, or obviously face-to-face returned?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So when I started in COVID, it was more of that kind of getting to know the lay of the land and building those relationships and nurturing and fostering that, and I guess networking, and then actually getting back into school and seeing the students face-to-face and families and staff was the next part of, I guess, the SSO chapter and what it really is about. But I was able to insert myself in the school and, join into,
excursions
excursions and classrooms. There's a few times that I popped into science classes, tried to get to know the students, and just kind of insert myself and get to know the students and staff and families. And I think I did that, quite okay.
Yeah, absolutely, to a great degree. And what are some of the programs or initiatives or things that you've been involved with that I guess you're proudest of, or you feel have made a mark on you as well as the student body?
Yeah, so here at Jannali, we run a lot of wellbeing programs, and particularly I was the first SSO at the Jannali High School in that formal role, part of the New South Wales rollout. So I kind of had the pilot program of the SSO and what would work and what wouldn't. There's a lot of programs that we've run here that have been phenomenal. We've got current element mentoring for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, which has grown over the years. We have our wellbeing programs like Tomorrow Man, Tomorrow Woman. That's probably one that I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
The reason being is it's a very expensive program, and that's been a bit of a barrier for our, students and school.
So what is it in a nutshell?
Yeah, so sorry, in a nutshell, Tomorrow Man, Tomorrow Woman is a wellbeing workshop around mental health and changing the stigma in those conversations and standing up and speaking out and not being afraid to let someone know when you're not okay, essentially, but also breaking down the toxic masculinity in men that they talk about in the men's workshop, and then they talk about the empowering one another in the women workshop and building each other up rather than building each other down.
Absolutely.
So it's really confronting. It's really eye-opening. It took a long time to get the program here at Jannali.
Okay.
Just because of cost and logistics and but yeah, we were finally able to create a pilot program, and it's actually been running for the last 3 years. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, I popped into one of those sessions and it was extremely powerful. And that's for Year 10 students?
Yes, yeah, that's all of, the whole Year 10 cohort. So I'm really proud of that. I will say a big thank you to our sponsors, which was Gotcha for Life, who heavily subsidise that for our students. And obviously a shout out to our, executive team and staff here. They've obviously helped to support that program too. So it's been really positive.
Well, that's part of your legacy here.
Yes, yep.
And what has been challenging for you?
Yeah, oh, look, it's hard because I love my job, but I think every job has a challenge. I think maybe the type of work that I do and the things that I hear and the things that I see isn't always easy. There's a lot of, obviously students go through adverse experiences with childhood trauma, relationships, family dynamics. There's a lot of things socially that happen. And that's probably, been a really big challenge to see how many of our students and families are actually going through tough times. But it's nice, I guess, to spin it is that it's nice to be able to support them during that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many students and staff who've benefited from your support over the years.
Thank you.
So we want to wish you well. Can you just give us an insight into the next part of your career journey?
Yeah, so I've loved every minute of being at Jannali as the student support officer with families, students and staff, but my next adventure is going to be still in education. I've taken up a contracted position at the Child Wellbeing Unit, which is a specialised unit within the department to help child safety and child protection concerns from a different level and a different view. So I'm excited to start that chapter.
Congratulations on that appointment.
Thank you.
And what about in your personal life? What can we hope for you over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so I'm getting married in October.
Woohoo!
So I'm very excited about that. I'll be a married lady. And then
off the market.
Yeah, I'm out. I've gone. So I'll be married. I'm also moving further down the coast, which is exciting. We've bought a place and
congratulations.
we're moving out. So personally, that's exciting.
That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on behalf of the school body and our local community and even wider, I want to say thank you. And I want to wish you all the best for all the components of your life. Got some great things coming up. And you've definitely left a legacy here at the Jannali High School. Whether you return or not, we thank you for everything that you've done.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. And same to you. Thanks to Jannali and all my team. It's a team effort. It's not just individual. It's not just me. It's a whole team behind the support that we provide to students and families. So I thank each and every, student, family, but also staff at the Jannali High School.
And now we have Hannah Ingram, who we're going to hear from her journey at Jannali High School and, something that she's proud of, her legacy. And then we're going to find out what is next for her in her career. Welcome, Hannah.
Great. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
So, Hannah, can you tell us about when you started at Jannali and what it's been like for you or how you've moved through or transitioned since you've come here?
Sure can. So I arrived at Jannali in 2017 and I had worked at Port Hacking High School prior, and I'd actually worked with Nicole Wazer there. So she was my HISI head teacher. So a job opportunity came up here. So I came along to the HISI faculty.
Okay.
I was a little bit sad that I wasn't going to be able to teach business and economics because I taught that at Port Hacking and they're my main teaching areas. But I had the opportunity to teach society and culture. So I dived right in.
Yeah.
I was only, I think, 4 days a week when I started. So I did 1 day a week of casual.
Yep.
And the HISI faculty was very different. I think there was only 700 students here then as well. So in the time that I started, the school really skyrocketed when it came to numbers. So there was a lot of change that happened in that time.
Coordination.
Yeah, a lot of change. But it was really fun. I remember not really knowing what to expect coming here. Different people had different opinions or different thoughts. And I really loved the community culture here. Like everyone said a really warm welcome to me when I got here.
Yeah. And
that was really, I just felt like I was part of the furniture really quickly. So I had a really nice transition and it's been a long journey, lots of change, but I've really loved my time. Yeah.
And so you've been at the school through COVID, through lockdowns, coming out of COVID. Has your role changed as well in those years?
Yes, it definitely has. So I started out in the HISI faculty as in my first 5 years. And after, I think, 4 or 5 years, I moved into the role of head teacher HSIE in a relieving capacity. So I did that for a year, and that was during the end of COVID or sort of 2021. So in and out of lockdown, running faculty meetings via Zoom. And
what a challenge.
Yep, Teams. So I took on that role And that was after having done year advisor, actually. So I had become a year advisor in 2020, but I didn't really get the normal experience because a lot of it was the first lockdown.
Yes.
So the current group that are finishing now were actually my year group in year 7. So I was year advisor. Then I stepped up into the role of relieving HISI head teacher. And after 1 year, I then stepped into the role of head of teaching and learning.
Okay. And so what does head of teaching and learning, what's that role about?
So head of teaching and learning's changed a lot even since I've been part of it. We were an Apple distinguished school and we still have Apple technology integrated throughout the school.
Yep.
So there was a big focus in that role when I took it on to lead that program. But over time, Apple has become so embedded that we didn't really need the same level of leadership. It was part of what we did. So I began to change the role basically to move it not necessarily away from Apple, but just to more focus on teaching and learning and how we can strengthen student results. So teaching and learning has involved running lots of professional learning for staff, analysing a lot of the data, seeing what the trends are across the school regarding our strengths and then our areas for improvement. Running the quality teaching rounds. There's a whole lot associated with it and essentially just working with other head teachers to strengthen policies and practices. So I really love it. Yeah.
Fantastic. And it may have been in that role, your current role, or elsewhere. Is there something that you're particularly proud of from your time here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think there's two main things. I think for me personally, I'm really proud of the way that I've grown the Society and Culture program here. My first class that I took on when I first arrived had 5 students in it. So it was a really small cohort. And like I said, it wasn't my area of expertise. I'd done some study on cultural studies and sociology at uni, but I didn't have experience teaching it.
That's a year 11, 12 subject.
11 and 12, And so I sort of just started finding my feet. And then I think in 2022 we had 2 year 11 classes get off the ground. And so since then it's essentially just built bigger and bigger every year. We have 2 year 11 classes again this year.
And for those who don't sort of know how significant that is, to have one sort of good size year 11 class is significant, but to have two
full classes is really significant. I think the only other subject in our faculty HSIE that would have 2 would be business studies. And that's probably one of the most popular subjects in the state.
Exactly.
So to have 2 classes for society and culture is really significant. So I changed a lot of what we've studied, had a real focus on learning about what kids already know and are connected to, but also trying to expand their worldview. So we explore topics like Rwanda and looking at it currently. Often we look at it through the lens of the history, but we look at it currently. South Korea, we try to explore countries and communities that aren't necessarily in the news all the time.
And like you said, really challenging their worldview.
And I was really proud to, we often run the Amazing Race excursion in year 12, and the culmination of that day is we go to Kabul Social. So that's a restaurant that is a Plate It Forward restaurant. So for every meal you purchase there, they donate 2, one to a woman in Kabul and one to a woman in Sydney in need. So I really like the active citizenship of that subject. It's really, I think I'm really proud of the way I've built that.
You should be.
The other thing I was going to say as well is the quality teaching rounds is another thing I'm really proud of that's been run with staff. But I think at the end of the day, seeing the way that society and culture has expanded, the way the kids think, that's been really rewarding. Well,
congratulations on those 2.
Thank you very much.
Definitely part of your legacy. And Hannah, what is next for you? Why are we featuring you in this legacy episode?
Yes, so I'm heading off to Newtown High School of Performing Arts and in the permanent role of Head of Teaching and Learning. So I'm really excited. It's the same role, but, it's in a new context, in a different location. So I'm really sad to leave Jannali after 8 years, but I'm really excited to just share basically a lot of the things that I've learned here. So the quality teaching rounds isn't off the ground there yet,
Right.
but it is something the principal would like. So that's part of my role to get that off the ground. Society and culture isn't run there yet.
Oh, look out.
So
look out, Michelle.
I'm hoping to have the same, be able to expand certain programs that maybe there's little seedlings there. I'd like to see those grow as well and focus on, again, supporting head teachers to essentially help every kid in every classroom. So really excited. I think the role's going to be quite dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I think 1/4 of the school are in the extracurricular music program.
Yes.
Yep. So there's a whole lot of, it's going to be a very different context. But again, I'm very excited. And I think there's a lot that Jannali does well.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we wish you all the best. And I know you're going to make changes that will transform that school. Like you have here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And thank you. And good luck with this podcast. I think it's a great example of the leadership that happens, in it every day in our school that sometimes we don't get to see. So I think sharing that through the podcast is really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I'm here with Sam Hegney, who is the relieving head teacher of science this year at the Jannali High School. Welcome, Sam.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being willing. And Sam is part of the legacy episode because she's also made a significant mark here at the school and is heading to different pastures. So, Sam, can you tell us about when you first started at the Jannali High School?
So I actually first started here as a prac student for Mr. Smith with Tony for my final uni placement. So at the very end of the 5th year of my degree.
Wow.
So started in term 4, wide range of classes, learnt a lot, loved the school, and I guess they liked me too because I came back the next year and I've now been teaching here for 9 years.
Wow. So you began as a classroom teacher, science teacher, and how has your position changed, grown, developed over the time?
Had a lot of roles, many hats around the school. Started classroom teaching, joined the wellbeing team first as assistant year advisor, then year advisor, then girls advisor and relieving head teacher.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've worked in a lot of different teams around the school, mainly a focus on literacy.
Yep.
Worked closely with that team and within the science faculty.
Yeah. And you've also done some other things with representing our school through the Teachers Union.
Yeah, so I've been Fed Rep at Jannali for how long now? Quite a long time. I had a lot of encouragement from Ken, one of the old maths teachers who retired. Really encouraged me to go forward on that, and then kind of my federation involvement has progressed as my career's progressed. So I've also been president of the Sutherland Association for several years now.
Wow.
The council, annual conference, speaking, joining in debates.
Yeah, it's pretty high level stuff. And over your time here and all of those amazing roles and all of the hours you've it's more than just been paid for but volunteered for and worked towards, what are some things that you're particularly proud of, or what would you see as your legacy here?
Definitely the beginning teacher support program. It was a program that didn't really exist when I started at the school, and there was a real need for it with a lot more new and beginning teachers coming into the staff. There's been a real change in the demographics of staff at the school since I started, with a lot of people retiring or moving on to promotion positions.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I've worked to build up and is now a big sustainable community within the school, and something I'm very happy is where it's at, and very.
And so because you started as a beginning teacher, you're perfectly positioned to sort of mentor beginning teachers, but what is it? Is it more than mentoring?
From advice on accreditation to being the person that they come to when they don't know what to do when it's happened, or they've had a really bad day and they need a bit of a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
So it changes
Okay.
based on what they need, and it changes also depending on a lot of working
Okay.
one-on-one.
Mm. And that reminded me that you also accreditation. You had something to do with accreditation as well. Another role that you had.
Yeah, so accreditation coordinator, which came about through supporting early career teachers.
Mm.
So supporting them with their accreditation, but then also supporting everyone at the school with their maintenance or any for higher level, and just keeping up to date with the ever-changing policies and what is required of everyone.
Yeah, and it's so important because the attrition rate for teachers in the first 5 years still remains really high. So for us to be able to support those teachers through this program that you've developed, it's making everybody stronger. All right, Sam. So where to next?
So I have gained a substantive head teacher science position at Mount Annan High School, which is in Narellan area, so southwest Sydney.
Okay.
I'm really, really looking forward to the challenge of a new school, new kids, new environment. Kind of the end of a very big chapter in not just my career but my life.
Yeah.
I've really kind of come into my own at Jannali. I'm also, I finished off my master's in the next 2 months.
Wow.
I finished off my accreditation application last month.
Congratulations.
I've just finished off external validation. So these last and next 3 or 4 weeks left here, really the end of a massive chapter and a lot of.
All right, Sam. Well, we wish you well in your future endeavours, and we know you're going to have such a powerful impact there because that's who you are, and your passion for teaching, learning, and really lifting us all up to be better is going to be missed. So I want to thank you, and on behalf of the science team as well, I want to thank you for the way that you, worked with us and been patient and kind and again pushed us to be our best through all the work that you do. So thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
I hope you enjoyed listening to the Legacy podcast. Thanks for being patient with the audio and sound quality. We're trying out a new microphone and getting that right. It's taking a little bit of tweaking. And make sure you tune in to our next episode, which will be all about beginning teachers at the Jannali High School. I hope you've enjoyed another episode of Connect, Thrive, Achieve.